Alright, in this video I thought I would give you, I've written down on this sheet of paper my nine predictions of what is going to happen now during Expo. Okay, now I think 9 days or 8 days left for Expo. So 9 days left for Expo. I'll give 9 predictions that are going to take place. Okay, this will happen during Expo and at least during Expo, at least a prediction during the next 6 months. Okay, so listen to them, put down your comments, let me know what you think. The first one which you will see across all media outlets, Gulf News, Khaleej Times, National, and even on social media influencers. Number one is hype. They will build tremendous amount of hype. The news will be like, this incredible launch, this technology, this futuristic car. That is one side. Okay, they'll showcase all this futuristic stuff. Flying taxis and people can fly like Iron Man, and vertical gardens and sustainable energy. And one is that. The other one will be big time contracts and promises. They're going to invest 14 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion in this, and they have signed the contract 9 billion in Germany, and US has agreed for 4 billion in this, and they are going to create 1 billion something in Africa, and Pakistan is going to invest 4 billion. So numbers will be flying around big to be delivered. Okay, so the first one is hype, massive hype. And then every time the ruler is sort of congratulations, oh, we are achieving our goal, oh, we did this target, that target. And then they will also come out with, oh, the 10th million passenger has arrived, or this guy has won this lottery ticket, and oh, the massive surprises, and this every day is a free car. And superstar, yes, superstars will be there from around the Lionel Messi, Shah Rukh Khan, this Khan, that Khan. Oh, and yes, plenty of actors. Actors means people who will crowd the area and they'll show photographs, it's crowded. But when you go there, it'll be empty because it's so big. So first one is hype. Second one is, see, when you have hype, the question is, does it work? Here's a surprising answer. 100% it works. People like hype. People like big talk. And look at, for example, that Jake Paul, that boxing show, Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. They hyped it up so much. Look at any boxing promotion, UFC, MMA promotion, any event. They hype it up. Oh, we're expecting so many people. And so when they hype it up, you attract a lot of eyeballs. So people will be coming to UAE. Many people. Okay? And it's not that investors will not come. They will come, and UAE will target those high net worth individuals who have a lot of money, and they will offer them very lucrative deals. Like, what do you mean? What do I mean by that? Example, I'm just giving an example. Okay, you invest 10 million here. I'll close my eyes. I'll not ask you where you got it from. You can convert this 10 million from black to white. Means this money is not accounted for. You can convert it by saying investment into these apartments or whatever. Or you can have this business, let's say this factory, which cost 1 million. You can open a bank account and put the 10 million there. Nobody will tax you. Nobody will question you where you got it from. Do your transaction. Don't do anything illegal here. Be happy. There are a lot of people who would be very happy to have this kind of offers. They would offer them, that gold visa, silver visa, green visa, purple visa, blue visa, red visa, all the bloody visas. They will just conjure up some visa and they'll give you. By the way, I forgot to mention this point, which was not written here. They will change their rules every single day. They'll change their rules based on what benefits you. So if you have money, exceptions will be made. Okay. So money laundering and investors is number 2. Number 3, plenty of new businesses will be created. See, they have given this, you can get a trade license, open a company, open a virtual company. There is internet city, media city, outsource city, so many cities. Now this is only Dubai. Abu Dhabi is also going to come out with some support for business people. Okay. And then they have creative visa, freelancer visa, influencer visa, social media influencer, whatever. Ras Al Khaimah has Ras Al Khaimah free zone. Sharjah has Sharjah free zone. Ajman has Ajman free zone. Fujairah, I think, also coming out with another free zone. So everyone will offer you an ease to open up the business. And maybe they'll say, put down the minimum $5,000 and we'll give a virtual office, we'll give a virtual table, virtual everything. Visa you'll get. So people naturally, just to keep the visa, one will open up a company. But then once they have this company and a trade license, they will experiment by doing some business. Okay, trading or something. So that is, in a way, it's good for the country because you get people doing some financial activity. At least, the economy runs. Because when you open up a business, you'll need to buy some things and sell something. So there's activity. Better than people just lying down and doing nothing. So number 3 is opening up of new businesses. Number 4 is the industries that suffered. Emirates Airlines, that is airlines in general, the tourism industry, the hotel industry, the tour companies, all these industries that suffered, they're going to recover. Maybe not as, it's not going to be a miracle, but they obviously are going to recover. And one of the strategies, what they're going to do is, they will recover, they will call you back because they have the database of the ex-employees. But if you are getting 10,000, they'll give a revised salary of 8,000. If before they were giving you free accommodation, now they'll say there's no accommodation, or there's only bed space, or you'll not stay in the posh area, you'll stay in a normal area. Before they were giving you 5-star food, now they'll give you, 3-star. So they have to bootstrap in order to negate the impact of what happened, the losses. Okay, so a lot of these very successful companies and industries that were dealt a death blow, especially travel and tourism, they're going to recover rapidly. Okay. However, keep in mind, there are plenty of unemployed people, so salaries will be very competitive and they will not offer you the previous package of the boom. Number 5, this one is a matter of major concern. The dynamics of the Middle East market is going to change. And what do I mean by that? The relationships that they had, the friendships. See, before, just let's go back a year ago. Just 1 year. Qatar, UAE, Saudi was against Qatar. And then Qatar suddenly, one day Saudi called Qatar, they hugged each other at the airport as if nothing happened. And now UAE and Qatar is they're wearing their beach shorts, and Mohammed bin Salman, Tamim and UAE's one guy they're in the Red Sea resort and they're enjoying as if nothing happened. All bloody bullshit. See, once bitten, twice shy. Okay, they will show all this, but they will keep a very cautious distance. See, the dynamics is going to change, and especially after UAE signed up with Israel, it's like a permanent damage. You have cracked the glass. Once a glass is cracked, you can't put glue and fix that glass. It's cracked, is cracked. So now Israel has come into the equation. Now you can't kick out Israel and say, fuck you, we're not going to keep in touch with you. So the dynamics is going to change. Now Saudi and UAE have economic rivalry now started in a big way, which will happen. Qatar is going to sit back, and Qatar, because it got burnt by all these guys teaming up together, it focused on self-sustainability, growing its own crops and buying export and import from Iran and Turkey and all that. You'll see Turkey also be a key player. So the dynamics is going to change a lot, and this in turn may not benefit. They want benefit for the country. It may not benefit the business owners, because you have to uproot your base and go over to a new place. But they'll try to renegotiate the contracts. The people who will actually benefit are employees and people who are seeking jobs and freelancers. Why? Because the next point number 6 is this will give rise to competitive job offers. You'll have Saudi will say, okay, we'll offer you this, open a business here, or we'll offer you these jobs. UAE will say, okay, no need to open a business in Saudi, open it here, we'll give you a better renegotiated deal. Let's say, for example, Google wants to open a $200 million office. Or hey, doggy. Okay. Hey. New doggy. So suppose Google says, or let's say Amazon says $500 million worth of I'll open a warehouse. So Saudi and UAE and Qatar all will bid for it. They will offer excellent perks. They will say, okay, no need to pay rent, or no need to pay electricity and water, or visas will give you for free, or something they will offer, or no taxes. Anyway, no taxes are there. So they have to do this. They have to do this in order to... This guy came so close to me. He literally drove like here. There's so much of place there. Why are you fucking driving close to me? Idiot. And all the dogs are howling. Anyway. Okay, so what I was saying was they will want to bid for it. Okay? Because not only it gives a great image, good for reputation, it makes it a global hub. And the biggest thing of all is this lady has a baby in her arm and she's driving with one hand. And no helmet. What to say? Okay, anyway. Some people like to do their own. Okay, back to this thing. So, no, it gives the country a good name, reputation. Many jobs are being created. It helps the economy. So yes, this competitiveness will be there, which will benefit employees, and that in turn leads to benefits for the workers. Now, benefits for the worker, you'll have a better standard of living. You will earn more. You'll make plans. The quality of life improves. With this competition, also new vacancies will come out. With vacancies, people who are back in their country and not having, let's say, a good package, or there's no growth there, they'll come here. So this overall creates a very positive vibe, and this helps the quality of life for that country. Point number 8. This one is a bad thing, but for business it will be good. They will have plenty of sale, and people will go back to the old bad habits of buying stuff, buying on credit cards, special offers, buy now, pay later, from cars to laptops to electronics. And what I see, my gut feeling says, they will get rid of all the old stock. They'll offer the old stock at a better deal, and they will give installment. Like even now when I'm checking online, Shopee is pretty famous here. It's like Amazon. They are offering 6 months installments, buy now, pay later, which I've been buying online for so long. I never saw, these, installment offers. Now they've started in plenty. Even the new Samsung phone, that foldable, they're saying, okay, you can pay in installments for 2 years. And I didn't see all that before. So what they're doing is trying to facilitate the sale. Now, it'll end up with people buying what they don't need. They'll buy. Like I said, it's good for the business. It's good for the economy. But it's bad for people. Because money is the name of the game. And last, if not the least, because of this, point number 9, because people will start buying a lot of things which they don't need, this will result in inflation. Rents will increase again because landlords have to be greedy. People who have to make money will figure out ways and means to increase charges. The government will also have its, percentage. You need to pay this. So what is going to happen is now, this is going to result in decline of your purchasing power. And that's not good, but it's not going to happen in 1-2 months, or you'll gradually see this occur over the period of 1 year. And once inflation comes, the first place where inflation will hit is the rents. Rents will slowly start rising, okay? Because obviously more people are coming in, so obviously they'll increase the rent. They'll give revised contracts to new people. Old timers, they might keep quiet just to keep them there. They want the building to be full. But the prices of other commodities, can be food or whatever, small price margins which you'll not notice will be practiced by these hypermarkets and outlets. Because, let's say they put a sale, okay, eggs you're getting half price. Many people will go buy eggs, but when they're buying the eggs, they'll see, oh, special offer, all that. They'll not even check the price. They'll not even check, is this legit or are they fooling me, or did they, like something is 100, but they put 200 there, slashed it and put 105. People are dumb enough, they'll not even check the price, they'll buy it. Because who will check each and everything? And impulse buying, window shopping. So inflation will hit. So these are the 9 predictors or predictions that I have that is going to happen with Expo 2020. You let me know what my prediction is, right or wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And this is me signing off. Guys, take care.